How hard do you think it is to just have an AM radio in your car, like it came with in the 70s? Well, stick around and I'll show you the challenges that popped up trying to get this to look original. So I've decided I want the interior of the car to look as original as possible. That leads me to favor putting the AM radio, original equipment, back in. So the OEM radio is made by 10 in Japan. Gonna test it out here, see if it works. Alright, everything okay back there? Ain't nothing. Fucking nothing. I've been sitting around for 45 years, so, you know, what do I expect? Are you kidding? You gotta be kidding. I guess I'm not surprised it doesn't work. Plan B, let's see if we can get inside here, remove some of the guts, and then put in a wireless Bluetooth receiver. You know, it's gonna look like I've got an OEM radio, but I'll be able to stream from my phone to the car. Let's see what that looks like. So this is what the inside looks like. There's way too much stuff in here for it to be a simple task. I could take a bandsaw to this thing and just like slice through the back, remove the rear third of it. It can be done with large effort. And as far as the little power inlet module goes, that looks like this. Okay. We need a plan C, as in classic. VintageCarRadio.com has some attractive choices, one of which is a custom radio designed to fit my faceplate and the opening in my dashboard. Let's get that coming and see what that looks like. Custom Auto Sound, Fullerton, California. So this is going to look very much like an OEM radio, only built-in Bluetooth, microphone. I can take calls, make calls, stream music, etc. It's looking good. USB, antenna. It's got all the right stuff in the back. It comes with two different little bezels, I guess. Just make sure this thing fits well. Of course it does. Of course it does. There's a mostly black bezel. Can go on there. Oh, that doesn't go through. Okay, well that's why we're checking it out right now. There's a mostly chrome bezel. There's like a little gap here. Well, we can see that on the camera angle there. A little bit of gap. This black rubber bezel will make up for that. But, yeah, I think this is gonna work. Here's the dilemma. A minimum of 2 speakers is required for this stereo radio. Do not connect any 2 speaker leads to each other or to the vehicle ground. Radio damage will occur. So I called Custom Auto Sound, the manufacturer, and said, hey, there's got to be a workaround for this. What about folks that just have 1 speaker because their car came with an AM radio? The answer is there isn't a workaround. They did make a speaker for Volkswagen buses that is a dual coil voice speaker. That speaker is too big for my dashboard. So I have chosen to find hideable speakers. I want the car to look as original as possible on the inside, so I don't want to cut holes in my door panels for door speakers, which also requires drilling a hole in the door. Not gonna do it. So I'm going to look at a pair of these undercover speakers by Custom Auto Sound that go underneath seats. Going to do some measurements and see if those will work. Something I did off camera was lay down some speaker wire. I've decided to put hideaway speakers under the rear seats, so there's wires going there. And I'm going to put hideaway speakers under the front seats, so there's wires going there. I don't want to cut speaker holes in my new panels, so door speakers I've decided not to do. So the new radio comes with two pigtails. This one here goes to all the speakers. So I'm gonna have this ready to go. I've got my bullet connector kits here. So I'm gonna be using those to hook up the speaker wire to the pigtail that goes with the brand new radio. On this other connector for the radio, what I need are, this one there goes to the battery, so full-time power, and this one here goes to when you turn the key on. The other cables here I don't need. One is, well, I need ground. That's important. One's for power antenna, and the other one is for an amp controller. Don't need that at this time. Center speaker in the dash here, I'm going to wire to the right front so it will mirror that signal. It works for me because, you know, the right front is further away from me than my left front while I'm driving. So if I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook or a phone call, then there's that. There is the speaker pre-wiring for the stereo. I did spend some time a little bit ago identifying some of the wires. So this wire here is hot and goes to the cigarette lighter. It corresponds with this fuse here, and that goes to the cigarette lighter, the dome light, and the clock, which are 24/7 power. So my battery terminal for the new radio will tee into here. I'm going to make a male plug in here with two females, one for the radio, one for the cigarette lighter. And then for the accessory on, I've identified this wire here is hot when the key is turned on. So this blue with black has power when the key is turned on. So I'm going to tee into that. The other one is red with green. That is a dimmable hot. So if I had like a light that I wanted dimmed, I would go to the red with green. This guy's got to come from the back here. If I put it together all in the front, be nice to see for the camera, but that's not how things go back together. Okay, and battery. Boom. This will be the cigarette lighter. Now I need this accessory. This will come on when the key goes on. Let me fish him back up here. And we're going to plug him into this blue-black. Starting to do some purposeful routing here. Alright, so this guy goes to blue wire with a black stripe, which is here. That is power when the key is turned on. Here's the corresponding wire that came with the radio. Okay, so we've got the microphone here. Put the microphone down this side. I'm not going to wire it up to like the mirror. You know, a Mazda rotary's going to be loud enough that if I'm going to take a call, I'm going to clip that to my collar or something. USB. Going to have USB coming down the passenger side. There's also a subwoofer out. I'm not going to have a sub in this car. Here's the mic in. Okay, what else? Antenna. Let's plug the antenna in. For the ground wire, I'm just going to put it on the back of this bolt here. So, yeah, this ground wire here. Except I want it coming from the rear. So, let me feed that through. So this ends up going behind the unit. Let's plug that in, actually. There's that one. Okay. Now, I want to make sure he doesn't mingle with the heater control lever. So, show you what the hell I'm doing here. So I'm going to that bolt, that wire, gonna put a nut on that. I want to know, hey, what are you guys doing for your 70s or 80s Japanese car? Are you putting in the traditional format radio? Are some of you guys going with a flat panel? What are you putting in your car? I want to hear about that. The instructions say to secure the radio to the firewall or something solid in the dash. So, fine, I'll do that. I got a nice big bolt in the firewall, and I drilled this hole a little bigger to secure it with. So we'll just go to that bolt there in the firewall. Easy. This is not particularly a triumphant ending for a video, but, you know, the speakers can't go in yet until I've got the sound deadener in, underlay, carpets, so that can't happen. I'm still working on the center display panel, so we can't attach that yet. Maybe that's coming up next. I'm an individual.